Chairman, House of Reps Committee on China-Nigeria Relations, Honorable Jafaru Yakubu, we thank you for coming on Executive Edge here on Control TV. Nigeria and China have a lot going towards a shared future. Let's get clarity on some of these areas from FOCAC, where President Tinubu met with Xi Jinping of China. Some agreements were reached. Let's start by asking you, Chairman, how well is Nigeria positioned to consolidate mutual trust and expand cooperation between the two countries as one of the benefits of this friendship?
Thank you, Gimba. It's a pleasure meeting you this evening. As a chairman, House Committee on Nigeria-China Relations, this very 10 House of Representatives, Nigeria is well positioned to consolidate and maintain a high level of mutual trust between Nigeria and China as two blocks or two nations. And to the best of my knowledge, it's a kind of win-win relationship. I have no doubt that the principle of trust upheld by Nigeria will be sustained and further boosted to consolidate its relationships or relations with China. Going forward, if you can remember the meeting between President Xi Jinping and Ahmed Bola Tinubu in China during the recent FOCAC, a lot of commitment had been done by President Xi Jinping to African countries, particularly Nigeria, and for Africa to access. And this is a good sign of good things that are coming the way of both two countries when it comes to relationship.
The presidents of both Nigeria and China have agreed to upgrade relationship to a comprehensive strategic partnership and build a high-level community with a shared future. What areas will the Chinese play within the Nigerian economy?
Basically, one of the principles of the FOCAP is upgrading the comprehensive principle of relationship between the two nations. And the upgrade of the relationship between Nigeria and China is a kind of comprehensive strategic partnership. It's a testimony to the desire of both countries to deepen collaboration to broaden areas of mutual interest. That's where the issue of the win-to-win relationship come across. These areas cut across infrastructural development, cultural exchange, trade relations, and people-to-people exchanges, including a stronger diplomatic and multilateral cooperation that will flow from that. It is expected that these relations will deliver strategic values and favorable outcomes on the both sides of the countries.
And what is Nigeria getting in return in terms of this strategic plan for mutual growth and benefits?
In the spirit of mutual friendship and strategic collaboration, increase in investment by Chinese companies, which will in turn create jobs for our teeming youth across the country.
China is a world power and has grown more than Nigeria by years of development. Can Nigeria really catch up?
Really, China did not develop overnight. It took China many years, over 40 years, without engaging in war, without going into wars into the another country. And it is as a result of hard work, discipline, and getting the right priorities done. Nigeria too can replicate those national objectives to improve on the economy and position the country for sustainable growth and development. My committee and other relevant committees in the House of Representatives will study those Chinese templates for growth and make appropriate legal framework recommendations that will support the overall agenda for Nigerian national growth.
Economic growth through the implementation of various developmental initiatives aimed at achieving poverty alleviation and enhanced food security are indeed key to Nigeria today. Mr. Chairman, will this fundamental issue be addressed within the powers of the China-Nigeria shared future?
Yeah, it may interest you to know and to understand that part of the MOU signed between Nigeria and China at the last FOCAP include agricultural cooperation. Recall also that the Right Honorable Speaker, Dr. Abbas Tajuddin GCON, has made a legislative commitment while speaking at the reception to commemorate the 75th anniversary of the People's Republic of China, said that the necessary legislative framework to support the implementation of the 13 agreements signed between China and Nigeria. My committee also will fast track those MOU in line with the Right Honorable Speaker's commitment.
Now, a lot has been expected in terms of trade fair organizations between Nigeria and China, like the China International Import-Export CIIE initiative, which it has. Of course, you know, the Nigeria Lagos and of course the Abuja trade fairs that we have here in Nigeria. What are the expectations when we showcase in China and when China showcases in Nigeria?
As earlier said, if you look at the trade volume and the trade balance between Nigeria and China, the Nigerian transition to the civil rule and the eventual consolidation of the liberalized economy by a successive administrations have resulted in signing several business deals between Nigeria and the Chinese government and Chinese enterprises. A key agreement was the establishment of the two Chinese constructed and operated special economic zones in Lagos and Ogun State. That's the Ogun Gwandung Free Trade Zone in Bekuta, as part of a plan to create zones in 5 countries under the auspices of FOCAP. The hope was that the zones will attract Chinese manufacturing businesses and help Nigeria to diversify the economy away from oil dependency.
China is interested in the raw materials in Africa to power its over 1.4 billion population. What broad areas of mineral resources development is China currently looking at here in Nigeria?
Actually, on record, China needs the Nigerian oil and gas to propel its growing industry very, very well. Well, Nigeria is the largest market in Africa for China industrial products. As a country, import from China account over a third of its total trade within West Africa. Nigerian export to China are separate over many and various products which have been classified according to standard. The International Trade Classification Revision, these products include raw food, animal skin, crude oil, chemical products, and manufactured products. Basically, Nigerian total export to China in 2015 was about $307.3 million, with the main export commodity being oil and lubricants. You can see also which represent over $273 million. The next most important export in 2016 in Nigeria was crude materials, which totaled to $33.3 million. The remaining 2 broad commodities, that's cocoa and cotton, exported to China in 2016 were valued between $0.1 million and $0.2 million in terms of trade in Nigeria. Export to China, that's oil and lubricant, is ranked first, followed by beverages, live animals, oil manufactured goods rank fourth. In terms of significance of Nigerian export to China relative to the world, Nigeria exported more crude materials than any other item, which constituted the main export of Nigeria to China as of 2016.
Mr. Chairman, do you think that Nigeria will, being a developing country, will Nigeria consider joining the BRICS bloc?
Actually, many countries join. In Africa, South Africa is part of it. And if I could vividly remember, the Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria was in South Africa precisely last year to be part of the BRICS meeting, even though we have not joined. But I think, on my opinion as chairman of the House Committee on Nigeria-China, I urge the Nigerian government to join the BRICS nations. China actually is the best friend to Nigeria now. If you look at what happened in terms of infrastructural development, that's in the field of the Road and Belt Initiative, you can see visible changes in our railways, airport. You can flash back and look at the Lekki Deep Sea Port. I think I can't speak about our colonial masters, but China is the best friend for Nigeria, and Nigeria has to open up to the commitment made by the President Xi Jinping during the FACAP to see how we can improve on our infrastructure, improve on our economy, improve on the cultural exchanges and people-to-people exchange.
The Chairman, House of Reps Committee, Nigeria-China Relations, Honorable Jafaru Yakubu, want to thank you so much for sharing your thoughts with us, and we wish you well.